stuck on me like a tattoo. Oh, woo! We are back, Eurovision fam. What is up? It's officially the 2024 season, and we're going to Malmö. Liverpool was lit. How are you doing, Lily Loves? It's been a while. What's going on?
I've been okay. It's been a long off season, a long and winding off season for us
Long
all.
and winding is true.
There's so much stuff that's happened like all of a sudden.
And
Um,
we're not going to be able to cover it in this stream.
yeah, I mean, goodness, and like what? It's November, and we already have our first song of the year.
We have our first song of the year. When we don't have a lot of other things.
Yeah, well, we don't have anything that's really oh my god, what's it called? We don't really
Pertinent
have
to the
anything
structure
from
of the
like
contest.
yeah, we don't have anything like that. But we've got like artists, we've got like national final stuff going on, which I feel like there's a lot of it that's happening that wasn't happening like as soon in other years.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
Tyler
doing?
Indy.
Sorry.
Always good to see you.
Sorry, my cat. He was chasing his tail.
Hi,
Right.
Ariana.
Hello, Ariana, as always, with your cheesecaking icon of Tio. And then yeah, K-pop 24/7 says
Oh
to
my
you,
gosh.
Jordan.
Thank you.
You look like
Honestly, I'm surprised that got brought up and not the fact that I'm barefaced now. So
I mean, I saw you barefaced. I was like, okay, looks like a baby. I wasn't gonna say it.
And
I was just gonna think it.
woo.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be something to get used to, but I do think I'm gonna be growing it out as the season goes on. So let's hope it does come back.
So is it gonna be like your lucky beard, like you know how people do for like the playoffs of the sports teams?
Oh yeah, it's going to be some synthesis of that. So you kind of use it as like a time marker for the Eurovision 2024 season. If we're in May or if we're in November, you're going to be able to tell just from the condition of my jaw. But with that said, we do have a lot of news that we had gotten uh, for Malmö and just kind of heading into the city, but not a lot of logistical details, but we do have some details about artists. We do have some national finals that are
Yeah.
getting started. And yeah, it's November, so the season is ramping up pretty quick now before we head into December and Fickmas, which is Christmas, better than Christmas in my opinion.
Okay. So we need to kind of just start with side articles that have happened. We've
Hmm.
had quite a few, but two of the more recent ones were 5 things we missed from Luxembourg while they were away.
Hmm.
This is by Elda who wrote that one, I think, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Elder
Who
wrote
wrote
both
both
of
of
these articles.
Okay, yes. So it's just basically 5 things we missed about Luxembourg in the last 30 years.
They were OGs. They
Yeah, they
were
were
some of the
OGs.
OGs of the contest.
But yeah,
They
like
were
they've
good.
had, I mean, they have what, 5 wins, and they haven't been there for the last 30 years. So that kind of
Which I
tells
mean,
you,
yeah, they're like a mythic legend almost in the
yeah,
contest.
yeah. Honestly, I just thought of this for a second. Speaking of one of the winners, so Vicky Leandros like is German,
Mhm.
and she like in Germany's national final when it's like 2005, 2006. One of the parts of the national final was you had to sing a cover of a Eurovision song. So she just sang Apertoire.
She was like, I know the vocals, I know the lyrics.
Just like iconic. Like that's excellent. I'm like,
That's
I would
a
have got
full
one the
circle
more
moment.
blue personally. That's my
Ooh, L'amour est bleu, like
I prefer
that would
that
have.
one.
Oh, and Vicky's voice, yeah, that
Yeah.
would have hit too.
No, that's her song. Like that's when she compete. That's her first Eurovision song. She did. She went to
Oh
Eurovision
yeah, it is,
twice.
isn't it? Funny bit of
Sorry.
trivia. I
All right.
only
Yeah.
like when I hear that name, I think of the win, but that's an important thing to remember too.
So she's ethnically Greek, but from Germany.
Mm.
Like, where is he at? Oh, he's not here. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and just want to highlight this one from Ariana. Can't wait to see what Luxembourg comes up with. They seem really enthusiastic about coming back with their process. Honestly, I'm so pumped. Like they're
Hmm.
giving us a national final.
Such a
Not only are they
surprising announcement.
not only are they giving us a national final,
It looks like Lili is having some technical issues, but Luxembourg going back to a national final. That is something that I wasn't exactly expecting for them, especially because you don't hear a lot from that broadcaster. It would just have been my instinct that Luxembourg goes the internal route, especially because I don't really know at this rate what kind of artists are coming out of Luxembourg, or what their broadcaster would put in front of a screen for a national final. Like that is just something really curious, because Luxembourg is such a small country in terms of population and area size. So
Yeah.
like national final,
Exactly.
girl.
National final, and they have to actually be from Luxembourg this time, because it's like that's
Mhm.
exciting to me, because like everyone else was like from, I said, Germany, France, like
It's like you can have some people
not
from home
Luxembourg.
too.
Exactly. So I'm curious. I think that's a big opportunity. Like, how many artists are there in Luxembourg, and then how many chances are there to kind of go international
Mhm.
as an
It's
artist
like,
from Luxembourg?
are you going to see your financial advisor competing on that stage?
Oh my, those are my
Non-zero
favorites.
chance.
Those are my favorites. Like, that's what I was explaining to a coworker of mine. Part of why I love Eurovision so much is because like they all have day jobs.
Yeah.
No, we're not
It's
doing
like
that.
these are regular European people who will go back to work after this and be like, anyways. I am excited though, because I
Yeah.
know so drastically little about the
Yeah.
Luxembourgish music industry, or what they would want to produce for the Eurovision Song Contest, being such a big power player in the past. So
Yeah.
all
Okay.
curiosity.
And then we have "And Hello to You, Eurovision with AI," which is another article by Elda.
Hmm.
How do we say this? It's basically about exploring the possibility of AI at Eurovision.
Hmm.
I know that, what's it called? Oh my gosh.
A lot of people in the arts.
There's a rule against it.
Mhm,
They
yeah.
rule that at least this year you can't use it. Honestly, I don't like it. Like, I'm like, keep it as far away as possible, please.
Yes, I agree. And I agree both as someone who observes this art and also as an artist in my own right.
Mm-hmm.
This is just something, if it's characteristically designed to steal material, original material, synthesize it, and then kind of like, I want to say, mutilate it to make it so it's no longer recognizable from the original source, but like produced by someone who threw an algorithm at it. That is something that's less than ideal for not just people who write music, but all forms of art, and all artists are having to come to face with the fact that AI is something that we're not going to be able to necessarily avoid. But Elda does stress in the article that caution, caution, caution is going to be extremely needed as long as we are facing it, pretty much, and
Mm-hmm.
we being the Eurovision community, and a higher likelihood of us incorporating AI elements into the contest. We just need to be very cautious.
It's kind of funny to me because there's an anime that came out like 5 years ago ish about just like using AI and machines in
Really?
songwriting. Yeah, it's like
Ooh, what is it?
it's called Carol and Tuesday.
Carolyn
It's a
Tuesday.
yeah, it's a sci-fi series that takes place on the planet Mars. You have these two girls who make music together. It's by the same guy who wrote Cowboy Bebop, or the same director as Cowboy Bebop,
Oh,
who
that
he
is
has
probably
a very
good.
strong relationship with music and art and storytelling. And like part of the whole plot is like these two girls don't use computers at all or AI for their music making.
I have that written down. Thank you, Carolyn Tuesday.
I'm sorry,
Interesting.
I know that's kind of off the wall a little bit, but
No,
like it
that's
makes me like with like this debate we're talking about music, and it's like, yeah, because it's part of why, like, when I talk about how a lot of songs from Sweden feel like they're, especially at Melfest, feel like they are algorithmically produced. This
mm,
is like kind of the thing. I'm like, it's not like necessarily using AI, but I can still see where you can use, like, okay, this is what works. Let's put information for what works
mhm.
in a pop song into a database and kind of just use that database to write something, which I guess, like, I think if we're using that kind of context for AI, it wouldn't be that so bad, because at least you still have the artists who are creating the music, and you still have like the
Mhm.
producers and everyone working on it and the songwriters. But still, I have the same thought of like, okay, well, yeah, we've got this going here, but you know, it's still, I don't know, just kind of, what's the thought?
It disrespects the artists, in my opinion.
Oh, it totally does, and it's like, I think with a lot of people who like use AI and are so defensive of the use of AI to produce art are just people who aren't talented. It's just
Yes.
people who are like, they're not talented, they want to be talented, but instead of putting in the work to become talented, they are what's the word I'm looking for? They're taking a shortcut
hmm
instead of actually putting in the effort. And it's like, well, you wonder why people don't like, no one wants to consume the stuff you make. So
Yeah, I actually recently just met an author who authors all of his books through AI, and that was a less than pleasant experience and conversation. But
I have another coworker to introduce you to then.
ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
We've already been here for what, 13 minutes, and we're like, just kind of focus.
and we're just hating on AI because that's what's up. That is what is up right now. And that is something that we're gonna have to contend with going forward with Eurovision, especially because it doesn't look like it's slowing down at all.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if they were using it strictly as a database to kind of figure out what works, I don't have an issue with it. But as soon as it enters like the actual process of writing the song outside of just, okay, well, this is what works in a competition standpoint, which even then I don't like because it just comes off kind of as soulless. With that as your only goal, your goal isn't to make art, your goal is to be the best.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard to explain.
It defeats the purpose of art.
Yeah. Like we need to have art for art's sake. But yeah, anyways. Ariana, well said. I wouldn't want too much reliance on AI. Yeah. Just like backing vocals.
It could destroy things.
Okay, here's my thing with backing vocals. I kind of want to go back to like live backing vocals only. I dare say I wouldn't mind it if you put an asterisk by it, as in, unless you're being creative with it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with what Daffy did, it works for me because it's like they're backing vocals that are pre-recorded, but like you're combining so many different voices in an interesting and unique way.
It's an element to the production as opposed to like backup for the vocalist. Like it's a production based decision, and I agree that that's something that should be distinguished.
Yeah, I mean, like that's just like kind of my biggest thing. But then other people use it as a crutch. Like I'm thinking of using it as a crutch. I'm thinking of Miracle from 2016.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah, in the semi, it's awful. It is so bad in the semi. But I feel like someone went back in the, let's turn up the backing track a little bit. But then that was live vocals still. You know what I mean? Like live backing vocals as well. But like it just felt like
someone was off.
Yeah.
Someone was off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But yeah, Ariana says just like backing vocals. And then we have K-pop 24/7. When I checked the televoting results this year, most people don't even care about vocals, TBH. I mean, here's my thing. I complain about vocals. For me personally, as long as I'm entertained, I don't care if you're in tune. Like, I mean, don't be so out of tune. Like, don't be so out of tune. You know what I mean? But like, if you're showing up and you're putting on an entertaining show, I don't care. Especially if you're dancing and singing at the same time. Kudos, good for you. Yeah. But like, if you're just like providing me with an entertainment, I'm good. And like, here's the other part: is like, I listen to singers who aren't very good at singing. Like, I love Tom Waits. Have you ever heard a Tom Waits song?
Which one?
Have you ever heard a Tom Waits song?
Tom Waits, no.
Yeah, his voice isn't the best, so I'm gonna leave it at that. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing to listen to. Or like, just like, there's plenty of musicians I listen to who aren't the best singers in the world, but like, I still listen to them, and I still really like the music and things that they produce. So it's like, for me, vocals aren't the biggest deal, but
full package.
Yeah, and like with backing vocals, I just feel like a lot of it's coming off as kind of lazy now, rather than putting in the grift and providing us with the best options there. So I think that's about it for the AI and the article about Luxembourg. Let's go ahead and talk about some artist announcements.
Oh yeah, we have a few artists, you guys. We actually have quite a handful
I
for like early to mid November. It's surprising how many details we have on artists.
Yeah. So the first artist we got was from Belgium, and it's Mustii, and he is like kind of dark pop. It sounds like. I went back and listened to his back catalog, and it's solid. It's gonna stay on with that like dark and moody Belgian trend, which I mean, I feel like is so Belgian. Like,
It is very Belgian. When I was listening to his music, I kind of got like hints of like Hosier meets Adam Levine, kind of like goes into like even slightly like Coldplay flavors every like
yeah.
flick or two. So it would be really interesting. It is very Belgian, just kind of his like first countenance of what he has on streaming. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and he's a very seasoned performer, very
Yeah.
seasoned.
Like he's done theater as well. Like he's an actor apart from being a singer. So he's definitely gonna be comfortable on stage. I can't imagine why he wouldn't be. You know, he's released 2 albums. There was Century Boy, It's Happening Now. And then he did 1 EP as well. And he's charted decently in Belgium as well. Both of his albums were in the top 5 on the album charts there.
He's a household name.
Yeah. Also judged on Belgique on Drag Race Belgique. So
So a lot of people are going to be able to recognize him, especially if they watch Drag Race Belgique. So
I am sorry, I have to laugh at this one. K-pop 24/7. Belgium and the Netherlands love sending depressed music. Honestly,
with love though, with all love.
I mean,
I love it. Don't get me wrong.
It's a joke, and like to me, this is a weird joke because this is a joke I've been joking around with my friends since like my fashion school days. Just like you can tell a Belgian designer because like where is the color? All of their outfits just look like they're just like it's like, oh, it's all black, and like where is like the whimsy? It's all like just black, well structured. Yeah. And great, lots of grays too. But yeah, it's kind of like the joke, or like people joking about Belgium not being real as well. Or I heard somebody like say Belgium is what they call Belgium. It was like the airport. It was just like a rainy day at an airport. But yeah, like it's just like,
I mean, a rainy day at an airport describes quite a number of Belgian entries, and
yeah,
from the Netherlands too. Like I would argue from both of those countries, they have just that essence every so often in their entries.
I just feel like it rains in both places a lot more than people want to talk about.
Yeah, and I'm not someone used to rain, so I would probably be upset.
And the opposite of that rainy feeling in a Belgian airport, I don't know, weird segue.
Is somewhere sunnier.
Somewhere sunnier, and a singer who's from someplace even more sunnier. So we have Cyprus announced they're going to be singing Silia Kapsis.
It seems like she is kind of set for Eurovision. She has a very long track record in the performing industry, an Australian Youth Performing Arts Company. She has some music out. She was out in LA at the I'm a Beast Dance Company. Like it's fantastic how much she was able to kind of travel back and forth around the world, getting her name out there. I'm really curious though, because I've not at this point heard any of her music. So it kind of puts questions in my mind.
I listened to a couple of things. So I'm thinking we're going to be Poppy and Boppy, which I'm down for.
Cyprus, yes.
And especially with the fact that she's got like dance cred in her back catalog as well. I'm expecting this to be a girly pop banger. And I love a girly pop banger because it works for me. And like she just has so much like this effervescent quality to her. And it's like, yeah, I'm down for this. It's like that's what I want. Like give me a summertime vibe. So at least we know she will not be bringing us some sad girl whatever semi she falls into. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Cyprus was sad last year, and
yeah,
but
Cilia, it was also an Australian last year too.
I swear, there's a secret between the islands. They have some confidential protocol between them. I swear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Silia has because I mean, pop, when Cyprus does pop, they do pop. Like
Yeah.
they go so hard to make sure that it's not only going to impress but outshine.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah. Vanya Lubitsch, Cyprus singing a pop girly is the most Cyprus thing ever. On trend, on brand for them. We love
Take a
it.
dive into my eyes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Fuego was kind of like my moment of just like seeing
Fuego.
Cyprus for the era it's in now, I would
I
say.
honestly, like, last year felt like a step back. I mean, at the same time, I don't
Yeah.
like when we pigeonhole countries. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm like, oh, Cyprus, you always have to sing a girly pop song. You don't necessarily have to always sing a girly pop song, but it's appreciated.
Mhm.
It's just something they do really well. Even like with La La Love. Come on, that's iconic at this point.
It
Peter Hadich
is.
says, "Come through with the 16-year-olds." I'm just highlighting this because yeah, she is young.
She's 16.
Yeah, she's 16.
Hellenic countries, I like. There's always at least one trend I notice between the Hellenic countries, and this time around, it is the Greek singer from last year going to the Cypriot singer of this year, both
Well,
being 16,
I know there's
the
like some
low
debate.
limit.
There's some debate, I think, with people saying like, "Oh, we shouldn't like raise it to be at least 18 to compete," which I disagree with because I feel like at 16 you're old enough to work a job. Like,
Yeah, and also kids compete in things all the time internationally.
yeah, they do, and they compete against adults as well.
Yeah. Like, have you seen
Internationally
Chinese
too.
math competitions? How it's like children versus adults, and I off the clock, I will show you these things. But basically, yes, international competitions that involve children going up against adults is a very common occurrence. It's a common phenomenon. And I personally think if they're good enough, then they deserve it. Lily, are you there? It looks like she's frozen, you guys. But with that said, it does look like we covered the details on the Cypriot artist as we wait for her to come back. I'm going to be talking about the Greek artist. So moving just slightly across the sea over to where Greece is. If you've seen the announcement, then you'll know that Marina Satti is going to be representing Greece at Eurovision 2024. You guys. So I have been a big proponent of just Greece in Eurovision for a while, separate from the fact that I'm a big fan of Marina Satti. Oh, I just got a text from Lili saying her internet dropped, so we are going to be waiting for her. We're going to be seeing her in just a moment. Oh, there she is.
Yes,
I was just about to start talking about Greece. Hey.
yes. Let's talk about Greece because Marina Satti. I am excited. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Tell me, preach.
I'm just gonna highlight some stuff real quick. The back catalog is immaculate.
The back catalog is
interesting.
It's new. Like
that
is
good.
Like, it is meta. Like
the the combination of genres and sounds. She can like the way she combines different like ethnic musical sounds and like different genres of music and like chops up in a way that's creative and fresh. It sounds current. Like the music she makes sounds current, where I'm so used to so much stuff sounding kind of stale. This is this is good. This is good.
It sounds like the future of Greek music. She's always sounded that way, even back in like 2016, 2017, when she was just putting records out. Like, and I agree with Larindi. I, at this point, have expectations just because of what she's able to produce. And I've seen her perform live online before. So just, I have high expectations just in general. This was a big announcement from Greece.
Yeah. Just, here we go. Vanya Lubitsch. I have high hopes for Mariana. Marina, I'm sorry. I agreed. Absolutely agreed. Ariana says, I love Greece's choice. Agreed as well. Like, she's so good. And like, I know the Greek delegation wants this and they want to do really well. At this point, I thought, honestly, I still think they could have qualified last year with better staging.
Yeah. The
song
could have done it.
The song itself could have done it. It was that staging that was bad. And like, I know with Amanda Tenfjord, I really liked her staging. I thought it was effective. It was beautiful.
It
When
was
I watched the
artistic.
rehearsal, it gave me chills. Like as I was watching,
Mhm.
watching the clips and everything. And like it gorgeous, wonderful. Like I'm hoping we're gonna see kind of something of that ilk and that thought put into the staging because
Mhm.
I think they'll get a good song. My other concern is that they have the songwriting process. They haven't chosen the song yet for Marina.
Yeah, there's going to be a national selection to decide the song.
So like, and they opened up like an option for people to send their songs in, and I just want to make sure whoever's sending their music to her listens to her back catalog and they choose something
Please.
that suits that and suits that kind
Mhm.
of feeling. Because how awful would it be if we have this really interesting artist, but we have a song that has none of that interestingness to it?
And it has like a songwriting camp kind of sound. I would be devastated.
I would be sobbing in a corner. Like, I'm done. I'm done.
Especially
No.
because like I know this is really early to claim this, but there's a pretty high odds that Greece could very well land in my top 5 this year just based on the momentum that the artist has going into it.
Yeah,
Like I already
100%.
have extremely high expectations. So
Yeah.
if it gives songwriting camp, I will be sad.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because it's like I can literally see like I'm looking at this like this is so up my alley. The
Mhm.
stuff she makes is so the kind of music I listen to. I
Me too.
expectations to the roof, please. Please. Please, I need that. So yeah, I and then we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but moving over from her, I think France has some expectations for themselves as well.
Oh yes.
Because they revealed that they're going to be singing Slimane, and they've already released the song, which
They so you remember when Beyonce put out self-titled with no promo, no anything. It's just like it
right?
just showed up. Yeah, so they did that. France did that to us. They were just like, "Hey, here's our artist and here's our song. Go." And you're like, "Girl, we haven't heard from you since May."
Where have you been? It's like when like your friend shows up and they have a baby. Like, where were you at? Like, I haven't seen you in years. What's happening here? Where does that come from?
It's like
Yeah,
you
Peter,
saved
how
this
did
big announcement. But yeah, I'm really happy. Really happy that Slimane is going to be in the contest.
earliest this is our earliest confirmed song ever. I can't remember, like there's a couple of songs that got released like in September, but we didn't know they were going to Eurovision. But yeah, like that's insane to me that it's like what? November. I think honestly, I think it's a bold move. I think it's like a matter of like, hey guys, we have this great man ballad.
Mhm.
Just so you know, this is what we're doing. So it kind of feels like a power move in a certain way.
Yes, it does,
Like,
especially because of how big Slimane is. Like it
yeah.
feels definitely like a power move.
Yeah, no, like he's massive. Like,
One of the biggest artists in France and the
he's
French-speaking like
all
musical world.
albums have like gone to like number one in France. Well,
Mhm.
one of his albums didn't go to number one in France, but went to number one in Belgium. All of
Mhm.
his albums have been the number one in Belgium. All of his albums have done really well in Switzerland as well. From what I was reading on Twitter, he's like really well known, like locals, like people in France who just kind of like exist
Mhm.
and aren't Eurovision fans. Like he sells out stadiums. Like he's a big deal.
Mhm.
He's also caked up, and that's what's really important.
He is. All I'm gonna say, you can resource that through TikTok. But he also has a fantastic voice. Like his live voice, I heard like some clips from when he was like performing on some older shows, and also his live performance uploaded by Eurovision France. Whew, dang! I don't have any doubt that he's going to be able to deliver live vocally. Like I just
Oh
don't
yeah,
have a doubt in my mind.
no doubt at all. And his voice is beautiful.
Hmm.
And I like the song. I have a couple of issues with the song, which feels like the way the phrasing is done is like it's dramatic, but it keeps the drama at like an 8 the whole time. I'm waiting for that drama to pop up to a 10. And like I need like some kind of like a big moment out of the song. And like I'm not getting that where we're sitting right now, but like that can change. We've got plenty of time to rework this because we've got what,
We
5 months until the deadline.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. This is the equivalent of submitting your final exam when you receive the syllabus.
I did that one year, but that's a whole nother story.
But France did it. They did it with Slimane, and they're very confident. Like by putting this out with a completed like music video, completed visual package, like fine-tuned production, they were ready to do this, and then they did.
Yeah, so Lorenzi says, one comment about France, Marco Mangione meets French language.
Hmm.
Also, my opinion is similar to Marco's song last year. Artist is much bigger than the song, moment on stage, vocals, fan base. Yeah, some I can see that where the artist is bigger than the song.
Yes, I can see that.
And then Lorendi, ESC community loves French most of the time. Top 10 contender for now.
I mean, technically top 1 for now.
Oh gosh, how many people were like, I wasn't ready for this. I was waiting for December, my top 1 video.
I mean, that was literally me the morning it was released.
I woke up and I was like, France said they're going to be sending the Eurovision. What the hell? Like what was that, Wednesday?
It was very early on. Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I went to work and I was like, what? They're going to be releasing the song today?
And then they did.
It's November 8th.
And then they did. It's like we didn't even hit winter yet. We are still like in the early stages of junior Eurovision setup.
Yeah.
Girl, like French broadcaster, are you literally not focused on Nice right now?
Honestly, I think he's gonna probably perform in Nice. Like he's gonna be one of the intervals maybe or something.
I could see that setup definitely because they got Barbara. They definitely had Barbara up in there.
I mean, that's because I'm shocked she was one of the songwriters. Let me have that talk.
She got to leave the cage. She got to
leave the basement.
Yeah, she's out of the basement for now. She's having some rec time.
Yeah, she's out in the yard.
She's out in the yard. Dovita did super well. I feel this was cut from the same cloth, Vanya says.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. It's in that same kind of ilk, but to me, I don't think they sound. At the same time, I don't think they sound similar.
I also don't think they quite sound similar, but it's interesting to have that.
It does sound like a French answer, maybe to Duvite, where it's kind of like what do I say, Duvite? It's kind of like a similar ilk situation. Yeah, but they still sound completely different. Yeah, I just
kind of like an olive skinned man with like nice facial hair doing like a high belt with some like nice shimmery going on his like chest plate area. Like a lot of the formula does overlap.
I love to see it. Love to see a guy with a good tan, dark hair, and a beard. That's a great combination.
And just like Marco, cake for days.
Cake for days. Now, will he need his leather pants? Like, does he have like support leather pants he has to wear constantly? We have yet
give
to
it time. Don't write it off. Like you never know, because like knowing the French delegation, they might just bank. They might bank on it.
Yeah. The staging will go. Ariana said staging will go big, but it will be simple enough to do a good job and focus on his voice. I think. Honestly, France needs to just fix. They have the songs. France does. They just don't have the staging a lot of the time. And like when it comes to France, I always have to think like, is this worth getting rid of a national final? Because we love France's national final.
I know.
I would say this is worth it. Unlike with Tom Lieb.
I see a lot of similarity with Tom Lieb's song and this song. We can definitely talk about that next stream too, because
I disagree, but that's a whole nother. Tom Lieb was giving me more like John Legend wannabe. This doesn't have that same John Legend wannabe feel.
I almost get like it's like almost Lara Fabian wannabe.
Okay.
To some degree. But maybe it's not even. Okay, I don't want to have to analyze it right now. I need to sit with the song longer because my opinion right now might not be the same opinion next week.
Yeah, I mean, we've got like 9 months.
We have 9 months. We have literally 9 months. And who knows, like there might be like some performances where he like executes it differently.
Yeah.
That he carries with him to Malmö. That could also happen. So
yeah, and that's what like I think for me, I feel like my biggest issues I have with the song are things that are very easily fixable. That can be
I
done
think so
even
too.
without a revamp. My issues can be fixed.
And I
Okay,
wouldn't even necessarily call my stuff issues. It's more so just curiosities, at least for the things I'm concerned about.
yeah. So let's head into national final situations.
Oh,
Things like
yes.
that. So let's start with Festivali Këngës. Traditionally our first national final of the year, but Malta's like, hold my beer.
Malta's like, nope, I'm first.
We're starting in October, guys, just so you know. Basically we have the long list of everyone competing at FIC this year. You can look it up. I have a link in the description box to it. Just kind of highlighting a couple of people I think is best. The biggest name on here I would say highlighting is Elsa Lila. She'll be back with a song called Mars. She had won FIC last year because like the way FIC worked last year was there was a winner of FIC and then there was a person who went to Eurovision. She won the winner of FIC section there. Gorgeous song.
And that was probably one of the most artistically like well-crafted songs of the entire 2023 season. It was just so that is what you want from an Albanian ballad, and just a ballad to go to a stage show in general. It had every aspect of delivery you could imagine. So expectations for her, of course, high.
Yeah, and then looking at here, we got a couple of regulars, like people who competed at FIC last year, the year before, and people who were there like constantly. But yeah, like I think for me, the one I wanted to just highlight was just the fact that they're bringing back Lisa Lila. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here we go. It's one thing because there were two people who were announced but that were removed.
Yeah.
Kisi Tola
and Samantha. I believe the artist's name was Samantha.
I just, you know what? I do love me some Kisi Tola.
I know that would have been. I mean, that would have been great, especially to see what she had been working on the last like 15 years. What the ultimate song would have been. Hopefully, she still releases whatever song it was.
Yeah,
that's my hope.
Yeah, she was great. And I just thought iconic. I still need to know what that staging was and how it happened. All right, and then let's talk about Festival de Canção.
So we got the list. Canção has invited artists and public submission composers.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. There's not really anyone. I don't really have
no one that I can recognize like off the dome, and we might be waiting for some more names that kind of I don't want to say cushion, but who kind of like establish the positions of each of these invited artists and composers in the songs.
Yeah, we need to know.
Right now, I'm just seeing a list of names.
Right now, yeah, exactly. Right now, we're seeing a list of like composers, not necessarily even the singers of the song. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, let me see. We're scrolling. Malta. They decided their national final was going to start in September.
And it's been October, quite a ride so far. It has been
honestly
quite a ride so far.
I haven't listened to all the songs yet. I've only listened to the first semi. It's not bad. It's not bad.
A lot of vocal moments, like a lot of the
Malta, baby. What's Malta if not a vocal moment?
I mean, our own party, but
I love Our Own Party. I'm sorry. Like, honestly, like listening to the first semi-final, I liked most of the songs. Now, do I think most of them would qualify? No. Like one or two I can see. And the other thing with Malta is like we have to remember these are demos at this point. Yeah.
A lot of them are one thing that did carry over from the first semifinal that you might be able to believe is the fact that the other two semifinals that have since been broadcasted go higher and higher, I would say, in terms of trying to achieve that vocal Maltese perfection. I feel like these singers are trying to show each other off in the most challenging ways possible. It's extremely entertaining.
Okay, because I think I kind of vaguely saw what people were saying on Twitter, and like I feel like so far semi one was the weakest semi. From what I'm seeing online,
and so might be able to argue with that as well.
I'm excited to see what the rest of it's like, but I mean, like I liked most of what I heard, and I mean, the first semi we had Elena Gomez Blanco, who represented Malta, what was it, 2019?
2019. Yeah, we
Yeah.
are more.
At JESC. We love to see it. I want to see more junior kids coming through.
Yeah, come on. This is just so far like a very Maltese thing. Come on, other children like who participated in JESC.
The only
Send an
thing is,
email.
we didn't get a bingo though of
Hmm.
Maltese last name bingo. We didn't make a bingo this year.
We didn't make a bingo, but we do have a wild card.
Yeah, maybe there'll be that pop up.
No, I
Just
mean the
trying to take a
song
look here.
Wild Card.
I'm looking over everything. Any names that pop up other than her?
There
Honestly,
there
so
are
many
a
people on
couple
here
who
are
like have come
regulars.
back. Yeah. There are so many regulars here. I was planning on like looking back through who's coming back from what year, but that was literally going to take so much time that I was not just willing to spend. Know that the Maltese selection, a lot of people are coming back after a lot of years of participating. They're seasoned with this. For a big part, they do know this process. They've walked up the stage before.
There you go. There's two names for you, Matt Black and Gratitude.
Matt Black and Gratitude, yeah, they are actually just fresh. They are pretty fresh still. They were participating in like the last couple of years, so everyone still remembers like their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
One thing I could say is that there's a lot of Maltese this year in comparison to like previous years in the contest. I'm seeing a lot more Maltese language. I feel like in relatively similar execution to one another, like with the songs, but there's a lot more Maltese language, and I think it's one of the most gorgeous languages in Europe. So,
it's so interesting.
To see that much of it is really, it makes me grateful.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Eesti Laul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed with the list that came out.
What disappointed you?
It just feels very mid. Like I don't know. Like I feel like Estonia is just kind of like in their mid range right now.
You think they're kind of hitting a lukewarm little bit?
What are you doing, babe? He's yelling at me.
For me, I
mean, we got repeating names and like I'm just looking here. Looking at artists who are like returnees. What we have.
Like the band Traffic has a lot of contributing acts who are just seasoned Eesti Laul regulars.
Yeah.
A lot of them are returnees. A lot of these are returnees.
Yeah. I mean, Inga, I did like her. Honestly, I'm excited. Like, No Dog on a Leash is intriguing. And knowing the kind of stuff she does, it should be a lot of fun, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
She's
I trust Inga. Laura is also back, baby. Hey. So she will be, I swear, Estonian Laura will come back to Eesti Laul every time until she wins Eurovision. I swear that is what she's trying to do. She's been to Eurovision twice. She's won Eesti Laul twice. She will go to Finland, get last place there, come home, and come back to the contest. You know why? Because she wants to win Eurovision.
Has she worked on her diction? That sounds mean. I'm not a big fan of Verona. I'm never gonna be a fan of Verona.
Verona was cute. I liked it when it had its run, but now I kind of find it slightly grating.
Let's talk about, I don't know. Ollie's back. He was popular last year's fans.
Yeah, I liked Venom. It was nice. He had a good performance. Like
Traffic has a song with a German title.
Wunderbar.
Also, I'm sorry, like Traffic. I'm looking at like the automatic qualifiers. I'm like, I would assume Traffic would be an automatic qualifier, or like Inga would be, but nah. Let's have it be. Fees.
I need. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna look at these again. Carlos Ucareta. I remember him. From last year. The others are relatively pretty. Udo, I recognize. I recognize Udo.
Peter
The
Haddock.
others are pretty new. Peter
Peter
Poder,
Haddock.
I remember from 22.
I'm talking about Peter Haddock. Yes, this is Laura from Verona.
Laura from Verona, Laura from Let's Get Loud, Laura from just Estonia.
Also, Elisa,
Elisa, where are you?
I need to know where she's at. I miss my girl. Like,
I know, like, where are you providing just like a Melfest reject bop doing the most and or so little? Where
Yeah.
are you, Elisa?
I miss you, Elisa. I always
Yeah.
miss you.
Maybe next year. I mean,
I
like,
feel like this year is not like I like SNL because it's usually like a vibe for me.
mhm.
I feel like we're not gonna be vibing this year.
I mean, I liked Peter Potter's entry from 2022, even though it was very Michael Bublé Christmas.
Oh,
Silver U. Oh, okay. Silver Usilo, same way. Like, also kind of just not Michael Bublé-y, but I get definitely a holiday vibe. Help.
yeah.
Help.
Should we talk about Benidorm Fest?
Oh wow, yeah, you guys, Benidorm Fest. Those artists were just announced yesterday relative to here. So we have that list of artists, and let me just say, once again, Benidorm, a list of diverse, modern, young, seasoned artists. They have done it again. I haven't seen live performances of any of these people, but just
aren't a couple of the people who have come back, or am I crazy?
really? Like, are there some who have come back? Because if there are, then I don't. Then I don't recognize them from Benidorm Fest per se. Not that I remember. So I looking at the list, I don't recognize that any of these names were in past editions of national finals. But if anyone in the comments has any mind to that, please do let me know. So the artists.
I'm checking. Sorry.
It's all good. Thank you for checking. The artists who are going to be competing are Almacor, Angie Fernandez, De La Cruz, Jorge Gonzalez, Lérica, Mantra, Marlena, Maria Pelay, Miss Cafena, Nebulosa, Noan, Kikeniza, Roger Padros, Sofia Cole, San Pedro, and Yoli Sa.
Thank you for doing that for me because my coworkers make fun of me for the way I speak Spanish. Nonstop.
I'm in a California kitchen a lot of the time, so Spanish is necessary. But
yeah.
What really got me about this list of artists is I just kind of very briefly touched on the back catalog of a couple of them, and it's a lot of modernity. You can tell that kind of the direction that pop is going in Spain, how it's like moving kind of like inching toward flamenco, then back toward alt, and then kind of like synth pop, alt pop, like the blend of all of those sounds that you could find in Spain. You find those different elements within these artists. You can tell that they're have pretty good odds of putting out something that's going to do really good on streaming. So I see Spain moving in kind of like that radio professional direction, and it looks great because they did that last year and it felt good.
I mean, they didn't do as well. I don't know what happened last year with the scoring.
That I really don't understand that either, because literally every calculation, every trajectory that anyone analyzed that song and performer on was top 5 in the jury at the bare minimum. There must be a big disconnect that we have here.
If it wasn't for the rest of the world vote, she would have gotten no televotes. Just like
it was just us. It was just us, rest of the world.
Yeah.
Blanca Paloma, you're still a legend. You're still a goddess.
Yeah. And then Peter Haddock says that the one lady, I think Nebulosa, looks like a Spanish version of Constructa.
She was interesting. I liked Nebulosa. She was so interesting. I almost
Like,
want to
is
say
she
like
like
I get
like
like
a
San Remo lady vibes.
well, she competed at Una Voce per San Marino last year.
She did. Oh my gosh. So she was with the San Remo B-side.
Yeah.
She was with those guys.
I mean, we'll see. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's kind of Benidorm Fest. And we're gonna head into our last topic, which is vid beer long list.
Vid beer long list. So Ukraine usually has one of the first national selections of the season, usually competing up there with Albania to see who can get there first. Malta beat both of them, which is surprising. But Vid beer is back. And we have some huge names.
We have a massive name. Like when I saw the list, the first name on the list, the first combo, I was like, oh, that's who's winning.
The first announced name, I was just like, well, dang.
Yeah, so we have Aliona with Jerry Heil, which
this is like the Mayweather and Pacquiao of.
That's
like probably a bad analogy because a lot of you don't watch fighting. But
I feel like if you know any Ukrainian artist and you're not like from Ukraine and you don't really follow Eurovision, you know Aliona. Like, you know her. She's a very known entity.
Very distinct artist. Like very few girls or like very few women in that line or like just in Ukrainian music are doing that kind of artistry. It sets her apart from really everyone else. And also the inventiveness of Jerry Heil. Jerry Heil is one of the most like style hungry artists that I've seen compete in vid beer and just as an artist in general. So these two together, and whenever they collab, it is a bop. Whenever they collab, it is just absolutely fantastic.
I'm excited. So, like this is like a yeah, like
rip my heart directly out of my chest.
There we go. Aliona, Jerry collab. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like I was like, oh, that's who's gonna win. And here's my other thing with this. It's stacked. And there's a lot of hip hop artists in here. Like there's a lot. Like, I feel like probably Ukraine's the country that's the least afraid to do hip hop when it comes to Eurovision.
Which, come on, everybody else.
It checks out though, because I mean, like I feel like if I'm like, it checks out though for me because I feel like there's a lot of Ukrainian hip hop that's kind of known outside of Ukraine amongst the music-y people in the world. And like the fact that it's like the first kind of like hip hop-ish win in the contest came from Ukraine too, so it kind of makes sense at the same time. But like,
yes,
yeah.
Slight aside, I did see an argument. Someone said "Come On Everybody" was a hip hop song, and that just chopped off like 3 months off the end of my life.
In what universe? In what universe? Anyways, also just looking through this list, Melvin.
Welcome back, Melvin.
We've missed you.
You can see that whatever the world.
I feel like 17th place, you were robbed. You did not deserve to be that low.
Vampire, you could have risen to the left side.
Right. I'm just looking here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see.
We have a number of like big names that are just like do really well on just Ukrainian consumption anyways, like Yatak.
Yeah.
Like,
he's a
huge streaming like
massive streaming. Let me see here.
Swoya is back.
Yeah. Like well, she was asshole before.
She was asshole in 2020 vid beer, got last place. She is blood hungry. She is ready for revenge.
You know, that's the thing with vid beer. It's like I like the fact that we have people who consistently come back. I'm excited too with oh my gosh, what are they called? Skylar's good. I'm just looking at different artist names on here.
One I was also really interested in what was her name? What was her Shepa or Shepa, whatever her name is. That was also very, very like she sounded great.
Yeah.
On just like the small clips that I heard. So good.
This is a good list.
It's so good.
This is a good list.
Like this vid beer has consistently been one of the best national finals since I started watching vid beer in 2016. So literally for the last 7-8 years, they have consistently been like top, putting out songs that, or like putting out performers with songs that are not just good for Eurovision, but good to put on the radio, that have longevity. These songs don't feel like they get old so quickly as other songs from other national selections.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they can
High
choose
stakes.
people who have a good back catalogs too. So
Yeah.
like, when you find someone through Vidbeer, you're gonna find a good, like, you're gonna find music you want to listen to outside of like the Eurovision season as well.
Like
So
look at Jamala's back catalog. Before she won Vidbeer and Eurovision, she had all kinds of stuff. She
I
had
love Jamala.
all, like early Jamala, when she was just like, when she had like some soul, you know.
I love Jamala. She's great. She's also collab with Aliona too. And
I remember that collab. It was so
that
unusual.
It's such a good song. It's a
was
great
unusual.
song.
Like, it was so weird to hear her sing in that style, but it fit. Like, to hear her like really lean into that trappy beat, so good.
It came off really strongly of like when you have like a hip hop artist who collabs like just a known powerhouse vocalist in gospel music, or like an R&B, and they do a collab together. It came off kind of like that. Like, it's like power structure, fantastic. Yeah, no, Anka's great. I'm just like looking at this list, like there's so many people on here that like
Carpet Man.
Yeah, that's a member
Welcome
of College
back.
Orchestra. Welcome back. I'm excited for Vidbeer. It's a great national final. It's not my favorite national final, but this lineup is excellent.
I wonder if we're going to be hearing like train lines in the background again, because that was iconic.
We'll see. Hopefully not. I hope not. But at the same time, if it's necessary,
if it's necessary, because they are still dealing with a conflict on the ground. So
yeah. So we have K-pop 24/7 ask, "Are you going to Malmö?" I am not going to Malmö. It's expensive.
I'm probably not either. It's like, it's way too expensive, but it is my goal potentially to see some of the artists in Madrid. But I do need to.
I might do a pre-party. I have to figure some things out still, but yeah,
we'll keep you guys updated on that. But the likelihood of either Lili or I going is very slim to none.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. Well, I gotta be here for party. Or maybe party. Oh, it depends on what country hosts in 2025.
Like, Sweden is so expensive. It's so
it depends on what country hosts. Like, if it's Iceland that one, heck yeah, I'll be there, because it's like I'm thinking like flights.
Ariana's trying for 2025. Marina Satti, if you're listening to me now and you want to win Eurovision, there's time. Take the contest to Greece. We all want to go.
Oh, Greece would be great.
Right?
Weather, the cost,
the food, the party, the atmosphere.
I love Greece.
Marina.
We dance to Greek songs.
Do I need to write the Greek song right now if it means that we can go?
What is that video? Oh my gosh, what is the one?
I'll pull up GarageBand right now.
No, I'm quoting the Calliope video.
I love Greece. We play Greece music at the weddings.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I think about that all the time. Let's see here. Peter Hadich, and these rumors about 41 countries, which I personally don't believe in. I don't know. The 41 rumor seems weird. Because he also says like he's impatient about the fact we don't have a full list of who's participating yet.
It is odd that we don't. It's very odd that we don't.
I think maybe it's Australia that's holding up at this point.
You think it's Australia that's holding out?
I think Australia wants in, because like I saw something like even like maybe a week ago where they were still negotiating with the EBU.
Aw, it would be really sad if they dropped, because they won a semifinal last year. No, this year they literally won a semifinal.
Yeah.
So I would hope that Australia like stays in, especially because that like promise ended up being, I believe, my first place for like a moment in time too.
Kitty.
39 Peter.
You are stuck on my pants. Yes, stuck on my pants. Okay. Oh, okay. That's scratching. Okay, there we go. That's better. Sorry. K-pop 24/7. Can Serbia please win?
Serbia winning, like Belgrade would be fun.
I mean, any of the Balkans really.
Any of the Balkans could host a party. They could
Yeah,
put on a
number one, I
party.
feel like the Balkans know how to party.
And also,
just-
you're not going to be like spending like €14 for a sandwich.
Yeah, true.
Like Scandinavian prices are out of this world.
Oh well, hey.
And I make American money. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Peter says he thinks it's gonna be 39 countries. 39 feels like a good number still. Okay. Kitty. You get off my pants. Sorry. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
I really hope we do still see Australia. Why my question is, why would they be negotiating a way out?
I think Sweden wants in because they had to have everything. They had to have everything extended out.
Mm-hmm. Australia, you got second place last time it was in Sweden. You got second place.
I think Sweden wants. I think Australia wants in. I think it's the EBU who's kind of like negotiating with them still. To see who will if they can go
if not for us, do it for Miff and Joel.
Maybe they're just trying to like extend the contract out again, where they say, "Hey, can we get like another 5 years extension? That way we can prep better." But we'll see what happens. Because I like Australia being there. I think they bring something valuable to the contest.
They really do.
All right, so I think that's it.
What are we talking about next week?
Junior.
Oh my gosh,
Junior's 2 weeks away, so next week we have to talk about Junior.
I have been so excited for this Junior Eurovision season, you guys.
I've only heard like 3 Junior songs so far. So what? I need to like study Junior.
Wait, which ones have you heard? Just curiously.
Maybe more than 3. Armenia. Love Armenia. It's like if Chains on You is listenable. And then
not on my girl Athena, not too much on my girl Athena.
Estonia. Love Estonia.
So surprising. So surprising.
What are you doing? It's stuck on my pants. Okay. Germany.
Also very different for Germany. Very
Netherlands.
Very similar for Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands seem like they have a thing.
Boy girl with pop.
Yeah. Or like just children with like upbeat. In Netherlands, I think that's everyone I've heard so far. There might be one I'm missing.
I mean, we're gonna be able to cover them next week because next week that is the last stream we have before the actual show starts. It's the last week of Lissandro's reign. Oh my goodness. Feels like just yesterday.
Oh my gosh, right.
Oh mama. Oh papa.
My family's gonna have to listen to I have relatives coming over who are gonna be here during Junior. And I'm like, well, guess who gets to listen to Junior songs? I'm not turning it off. Right. So
we'll be talking about Junior Eurovision.
Yep. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again next week. So I'm giving you a little bit of a preview. And we will see you again then. So bye.
Thank you guys and happy 2024 season. Stuck on me like a tattoo. Oh.